This is a Paranormal Truth Seeker. I want to share some interesting experiences with you. I told you guys that I've been involved with the paranormal for about 50 years, had many personal experiences. Not only did I do that, I investigated and ran a number of teams and helped people train. Anyways, one of the teams that I ran was Press Investigations. You can look us up on the internet and see our website and some of the other information that we have. But I wanted to share this with you. Out of all the thousands of pictures that we took, probably 10,000s, within a year, I couldn't tell you how many because normally we had several people there with cameras taking pictures, recording audio, trying to capture some evidence. This is about the only picture that I think that I could point to and say that remains unexplained today. Now, some of the people on the team were very good at debunking, myself included, but Tony was particularly good at it. It really had an eye to catch things and reflections in the back or somewhere that came through his lens flare. And so Tony was using a system that he had designed, and we called it the multi-spectrum verification system. Now, that system was made up of three different cameras. One camera was a still camera, another camera was an infrared camera, and another was what they called a full spectrum camera. And Tony had found a way to put all three cameras on a tripod, and we could take it from location to location with us very easily, set it up and manage doorways and other things. So it was a very easy system to use, and we really would like to compare a lot of the pictures that we got. Now this is one of them that we got that we couldn't explain. So we have three different types of cameras pointed at the same window, and as you can see in this picture, there's no face in the window. But then you see right there in the circle, you can see just a little bit of what appears to be something there. So Tony took and blew it up, and well, there you go. Now this picture was captured, I believe it was February the 12th of 2011. And to give you a little bit of the background, what we had is we had a site we called the LTRS, stood for Long-Term Research Site. And over the years, there's been a lot of things reported in there. A lot of people were afraid to go inside the building. It was right across from an old train station there in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And so we investigated a number of times. We felt that putting live cameras in there and conducting regular investigations was amounted to about every weekend. For the most part, Saturday night, we'd get up around 7 or 9 o'clock, depending upon the temperatures and the weather conditions. And we would stay till about 1 or so in the morning and try to beat the drunk zone. But anyways, long story short, this is the only picture that I can say without a doubt that we captured on the camera that we weren't able to explain. So once Tony captured that picture, he sent it to me. I took a look at it, and as anybody would do that was prudent and wanted to debunk it, I thought, well, maybe it's a reflection. So Tony sent me the rest of these pictures. They're now on our website. Anyway, so we tried to recreate it several times with all the people there, and we weren't able to do it. So I can't tell you for sure that this picture that you're seeing with the face is definitely paranormal. Now, I will say it's paranormal in the sense that we were never able to explain it. Again, after we tried to debunk it, we were only left with more questions than answers, knowing that it wasn't a reflection. We couldn't explain it. So I have always said that when you have a picture like this, you shouldn't just say it's paranormal. It just remains unexplained. So in that sense, if you want to call it paranormal, that's absolutely true. But anyways, we went back, we looked at the footage, set things up again, tried it. I think we tried it 2 or 3 different times just to see if we could replicate it. We were never able to replicate it. So there's a lot of pictures out there that may have some sort of reflection, lens flare, whatever, going on, and people believe those are ghosts, and some of them certainly may be if you believe in ghosts or you don't. But what I can tell you is that this location was very interesting. Again, I'd mentioned it was across from a train station there in Guthrie. We had a number of experiences. I remember the first experiences I had inside that location was footsteps and voices when there was nobody else in the building. There was only one way into the building, and there was nobody in there. And after I had spoke to a number of workers who had been in there, they all told me they would not go back in there because of the experiences they had. So I can't tell you that their experiences were absolutely true, but based on what I experienced, I believe that what they experienced was probably unusual and a little scary. Of course, old buildings make some noises. I think the building was built in 1893, so it did have a history to it. Now, we were never able to find any history in the building that showed that there were deaths within the building, but we do know that nearby there was some flooding that occurred in years past, and people lost their lives. So, does it have something to do with it? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that some of the things that we experienced over the years was, again, kinetic activity, a number of full body apparitions, not just witnessed by one or two people. We did ghost tours there on somewhat a regular basis. People would experience things as well. Again, some of them were just experiences. We couldn't prove what happened to these people. But there were times that we were together, and two of us would see an apparition. In fact, Tony and myself, on the way up the stairs to the second floor, saw a lady in white. Another time, one of the investigators and myself saw the same lady. We got a pretty good look at her. And we had a rule that if you saw something, I'd simply turn to the other investigator or him to me, and we would ask one another, hey, did you see what I saw? And we wouldn't say what it was. Say, yeah, I saw something in this direction. Okay, and that was enough. And we would separate and be interviewed by two different people, and then they would corroborate our stories and to see if we saw the same thing. And this is what we did to make sure that people weren't making things up. There were times that people would see something because they were looking in a different direction and they didn't see what the other person saw. But over the years, we experienced a number of apparitions in the building, full body, a lot of light anomalies, EVP, many EVP were captured inside that building. Often, when we had the live cameras up, we would have people that would tell us that they'd hear voices inside the building. Now, we couldn't prove they were actually inside the building because we had people outside the building, and they would walk around. A lot of people like to go up there and take pictures of some car or something sitting out front, or some other nostalgic thing that they saw that they wanted to get pictures of, the architecture of the building or whatever. But again, this was up on the second floor. There is no window ledge there, so it's impossible for it to be a person. If you take a good look, you can see that face almost looks like is within the window frame itself. So we never were able to debunk it. I wanted to share this with you. This is, I can't say a ghost. After many people saw the picture, a lot of people had different ideas on what it could have been. Some people think that it looks like a monkey. Some people say it looks like a man with a beard. Others say wearing glasses. So it depends on who looks at it, what you're looking at it on. So it may look a whole lot clearer on a computer versus a cell phone. And again, we've got to take things into consideration, like how good is somebody's eyes, their ears, when they listen to something. And so that's some of what you run into when you're looking at this kind of stuff. The only thing I can say is that when you look at it with an open mind. But over the years, we had too many experiences in there just to say that a lot of things were random. But in some cases, it did seem random. There were places like the basement, for example, of this building. When you walked down there, you could feel what felt like spider webs against your arms. You would look, there were no spider webs, no spiders nearby. I mean, nothing to indicate that they had built webs and you'd walk through them. There were times that I saw people that appeared to be touched. I recall one night we had a young lady up there, and I had some night vision. It was pitch black, and the lady made the comment that she felt like somebody was touching her hair. So I brought up the night vision to look, and lo and behold, I actually saw part of her hair lift up and drop. There were times that people were touched in other ways. The building seemed to be very active when we had females on it for some reason. So this is one of the things that I wanted to share with you. I hope that you find this interesting. If you have any questions or comments, if you think it's a ghost, demon, a monkey man, whatever, I'd like to see what your thoughts are on that picture. But again, this is only one of the few pictures that I have that I might say is paranormal. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you would, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, leave it in the comments. And we'll be putting up another video soon. Thank you.